Welcome. In this session, I'll be explaining about the uh, eukaryotic DNA replication chain elongation. Okay. So this continuation of the previous video, chain initiation. Okay. Eukaryotic initiation. This is the next video for chain elongation. So in this elongation, you have to remember the concepts. These are the major events which will take place in the elongation phase. Formation of replication forks and replicative DNA polymerases will be elongating the chain. CMG helicase complex will be involved. CT4, CTF4 and additional proteins like MRC1, claspin proteins, PCNA, RFC and RFA factors. Okay, these will play a major role in the chain elongation of DNA replication process. So once these are the three enzymes. Okay, replicative DNA polymerases includes the three enzymes in yeast cells. Okay, in the budding yeast cell you can see three DNA polymerases. Polymerase 1, which is also called DNA polymerase alpha, which has got primase activity. DNA polymerase epsilon, which is called DNA polymerase 2, and DNA polymerase delta, which is also known as DNA polymerase 3. So these are the three polymerases which are present in the yeast cells, which will help in the elongation, chain elongation process. So after the formation of this pre-replicative complex, okay, this is the active CMG complex. So after the formation of this active complex, okay, this active formation takes place in the S phase. This is called the active replisome. So as the cell progresses from G1 into S phase, the pre-RC, that is the pre uh, replicative complex, is activated by two protein kinases CDC7, DBF4 and cycling dependent kinase CDK, whose activities will be increased in the S phase, and these kinases will initiate a cascade of events that ultimately leads to origin unwinding, okay, and polymerase recruitments and duplication of the cellular genome. So the single-stranded DNA, SS DNA, will be exposed to begin the helicase in coated with SS binding proteins. So here in SSB binding proteins will be the replication factor A. Okay, this replication factor A binding proteins which have the similar role than that of the single strand binding proteins. This will go and bind with the unwind unwind single strand DNA, and primase the which is the DNA polymerase 1, which has got the primase activity. Okay, the polymerase DNA polymerase alpha, which has got the primase activity, and the rest of the replication machinery are associated with the replication bubble to form two replication forks, and it will initiate the bidirectional DNA synthesis. Okay, so this is the elongation phase. The firing factors such as SLD3 and SLD2 and DPB11 are required for helicase activation, but these are not form a part of the replisome. Polymerase epsilon is essential for helicase activation and remains associated with the CMG complex. Once the CMG complex is assembled, many additional proteins are recruited to the replication fork to form the eukaryotic replisome. This includes the proteins like binding of proteins like CTF4, polymerase alpha, CSM3, TOF1, MRC1, FACT, and topoisomerase 1, which are all components of the replisome progression complex or PC. This is a large CMG assembly which is isolated in the S phase of the budding yeast cells. So MCM 2 to 7 comprises the ATP dependent motor subunits that unwinds the parent DNA duplex for the formation of leading and lagging strand synthesis. Okay, so this MCM 2 to 7 has got a helicase like activity which will unwind the double helical structure. This replication of both leading and lagging strands recruits priming by polymerase alpha, which has got the primase activity. Uh, Many replisome factors, including claspin, RFC, RFA, PCNA, and clamp loader proteins, and many other additional proteins also will regulate the polymerase functions. This polymerase delta helps in the synthesis of lagging strands at the replication fork. Because DNA synthesis proceeds in the 5' to 3' direction, the leading strand is synthesized continuously while the lagging strand is synthesized discontinuously. Okay, so polymerase alpha primase will synthesize short segment of RNA DNA primers repeatedly on the lagging strand, and it will be extended by polymerase delta, and on the leading strand this primer will be synthesized only once. So this is the replication fork, okay, which has got the replication binding factors, that is the SSB binding protein, and topoisomerase will help in the removal and removal of this positive supercoils due to unwinding of this helicase activity. And the CMG complex, okay, this is the CMG complex, which is the MCM bound with uh, GINS and CD C45. Okay, the CMG complex which has got the helicase activity, which will start unwinding the double helical structure in one strand. Okay, it will be continuously synthesized, that is called the leading strand. The other strand will be discontinuously synthesized, which will have so many primers. That strand will be called as the lagging strand. Okay, and PCNA will be acting as a clamp loading for the polymerase epsilon and polymerase delta. Okay, so in such a way that chain will be elongated, and it will be synthesizing both leading and lagging strand. Okay, so the coordination of this DNA synthesis will be promoted with the help of the CMG complex protein. Okay, this CMG complex protein CDA, C45, GINS and MCM will form the CMG complex, which helps in the unwinding of this double helical structure. Due to unwinding, positive supercoils will be introduced in the DNA. These positive supercoils will be removed with the help of the enzyme topoisomerase in the replication fork. Okay, then the replication fork will leads to the formation of leading and lagging strand in the same 5' to 3' direction. Polymerase epsilon will be helpful in the synthesizing leading strand continuously, and polymerase delta will be helpful in synthesizing the lagging strand, and polymerase alpha will continuously synthesize the primers, which will be uh, elongated with the help of the polymerase delta. The Okazaki fragments are about 100 to 200 base pairs in eukaryotes. Many RNA primers are required for the synthesis of this lagging strand, and only one primer is required to synthesize this leading strand. Okay, uh, these RNA primers are synthesized with the action of DNA polymerase alpha primase enzyme. Uh, so these are the three polymerase enzymes, replicative enzymes, which are present in the replication fork. Polymerase alpha helps in the synthesis of RNA primers for both leading and lagging strand, which will be elongated by polymerase epsilon, which will be elongating the leading strand, and polymerase delta, which will elongate the lagging strand. Polymerase delta has got high fidelity and proofreading activity, that is 3' to 5' exonuclease activity on both lagging and leading strand synthesis. And polymerase epsilon is highly processive and has proofreading activity in the 3' to 5' exonuclease activity, and it is highly related with this polymerase delta. So all these protein factors like uh, PCNA, replication factor C, CTF4 and additional proteins CDC45, MCMGINS helicase complex, MRC1. Okay, this all these proteins are necessary to elongate the chain in eukaryotes. This MRC1 will interact with polymerase epsilon as well as with this MCM proteins. PCNA will form a clamp, that is it encircles this enzyme polymerase epsilon. It as gives a clamp loader. It will act as a clamp loader. And pCNA will encircle the DNA template in the replication fork with the help of the protein called replication factor C protein. RFC complexes are five types like RFC1, RFC2, RFC3, RFC4 and RFC5. This RFC will recognize primer template junctions and it will load the pCNA at these sites. Okay, so all these proteins and different types of replicative polymerases like polymerase alpha, polymerase delta, polymerase epsilon and CMG helicase complex. Okay, all these are necessary to synthesize the lagging and leading strand. Thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned to watch termination stage of eukaryotic replication. Subscribe and support the channel by Chemistry DSP.